Thanks for being here again. Today, I want to talk about something unfolding quietly in Tokyo. Something subtle, yet incredibly powerful in shaping modern life. More and more people are living alone, not temporarily, not while waiting for marriage, not as a transition phase, but as a long-term, intentional way of living. In some parts of Tokyo, more than half of the households consist of just one person. Just one. One toothbrush, one cup, one futon, one name on the mailbox. And what makes this fascinating isn't the number, it's the meaning. Because in the past, living alone often meant something was missing. A partner, a family, stability, or belonging. But now, for many people here, living alone means something else. Autonomy. Comfort. Quiet. Space to exist without performing for someone else. Tokyo has become one of the most solo-friendly cities in the world, not by accident, but through culture, economics, architecture, and social evolution. And if you walk through the city, you can feel it. Single-serving meals at convenience stores. Compact studio apartments built like precision-engineered bento boxes. Restaurants with counter seating, made for one. Movie theaters selling single-seat luxury tickets. Travel tours designed for solo participants. Karaoke booths built for a single microphone and a single voice. Living alone isn't just accepted here, it's supported. But why is this happening? To understand, we need to rewind a little, back to the way life used to be. For decades, Japanese society operated under a traditional script: grow up, study hard, join a company, work long hours, meet someone, get married, have children, buy a home, support your family. Repeat the same model for the next generation. That model worked when companies guaranteed lifetime employment, when communities were stable, when gender roles were clear, and when economic growth felt endless. But over time, the foundation holding that script together began to weaken. Wages flattened. Job security disappeared. Work culture intensified. Living costs rose. Relationships became harder to maintain, and expectations stayed the same, even as reality changed. So many people began asking a question they were never supposed to ask. Do I actually want this? Or did I just assume I should want it? And once that question appears, it doesn't go away. Today, living alone in Tokyo isn't seen as failure, and it isn't seen as transition. For many, it's simply the default. But the reasons aren't the same for everyone. Some people choose solo living because they love independence. They enjoy the freedom of controlling their time, space, and decisions. No negotiations, no compromises, no emotional homework, just life at their own pace. Others live alone because they're exhausted, emotionally and mentally. After years of school pressure, corporate expectations, and social judgment, being alone becomes a form of rest. And some, though fewer will admit it, live alone because relationships feel risky. Love requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires trust. And trust takes time, something many people here feel they do not have. There's also a practical layer. Real estate in Tokyo is designed for solo life. Tiny apartments, some barely bigger than a walk-in closet in the West, exist because they work. When everything you need is outside, food, services, entertainment, transit, your home becomes less of a social space and more of a personal retreat, a quiet container where the world finally stops demanding things from you. For some people, that silence feels like peace. For others, it feels like emptiness. But loneliness is an interesting thing. Living alone doesn't automatically create loneliness, and living with others doesn't automatically remove it. Some of the loneliest people in the world are married. Some of the most fulfilled people live alone. So maybe the question isn't, why are more people living alone? Maybe the question is, what kind of life feels meaningful to them? Solo life in Tokyo opens a door to something that didn't exist before: the right to live without explanation. No parent asking, when will you get married? No pressure to prove adulthood through family roles. No assumption that happiness requires partnership. And yet, there is a quiet paradox. Tokyo makes living alone easy, but it also makes building deep relationships difficult. Everyone is busy. Everyone is tired. Everyone is quietly protecting themselves. People walk past each other without eye contact. Conversations stay shallow to avoid discomfort. Smaller talk replaces vulnerability. Tokyo is full, but not always connected. And sometimes the silence becomes heavy. There are nights when the apartment is too quiet, when there's no one to talk to about the day, when meals become repetitive and time feels circular. In those moments, solo living doesn't feel freeing. It feels fragile. But still, many choose it. Not because it's perfect, but because it feels more honest than pretending they fit into an older model of life. Tokyo's solo lifestyle isn't just a trend, it's a cultural evolution. A shift from we live as expected to we live as we choose. Some people will eventually choose love. Some will choose friendship-based households. Some will choose marriage and family. And some will remain solo for life and feel complete. There is no universal formula anymore. And maybe that's the point. Maybe Tokyo isn't showing the decline of connection, but the beginning of a world where connection exists only when it's chosen, not required. So let me leave you with a question. If you could design your life from scratch, no pressure, no expectations, no judgment, would you live alone? Or would you still seek someone to share your life with? There isn't a right answer, only the one that feels true. Thanks for listening. If you have thoughts, share them. I'd love to hear your experience wherever you're watching from. And if you want more deep dives like this, feel free to subscribe. Until next time, take care. And whether your home holds one toothbrush or two, I hope it feels like a place where you can breathe.